Yo, what's good, y'all?
So yeah, in this one I'm gonna show you how Wheezy makes crazy beats. So this one's kind of inspired by Money on Money by Young Thug and Future. So I'm gonna break down this beat I made, and then I'm gonna throw the vocals on it later. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So yeah, I'm gonna play you the beat first, and then I'm gonna break it down. So this is what it sounds like. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Let's go on with the sample first. So first thing I had for the sample is I had this art from the Eternal Volume 3 kit. So this is what it sounds like. So yeah, I could just tell you go find an ARP. Where do you find an ARP, you know? So you gotta make your own. So I'm gonna show you how to make an ARP similar to this. So the way you kind of break down an ARP is like you just grab it and you stretch it out. I'm gonna stretch it out to around 32 bars. I'm gonna do 32 bars just so you can hear everything. It just stretches it out and you can hear every note. You can kind of hear the notes being used. So we're just gonna load up a piano, and I'm gonna show you kind of a similar way to load a pattern. Like, all right, so I made a similar pattern, and I'm gonna just play it for you, and then I'm gonna break it down. Yeah, pretty simple. All it is the E, it's the root note followed by these half steps right here, and then this second half steps. Yeah, I'm gonna copy this sound over onto Xenology. We're gonna find a sound. So what I'd like to do is I go to synth lead right here. Just click on synth lead. I just go through these. Something like that, right? Something simple. Then you just go to the master and render it out as an audio file. And then the process here is the same way we stretch this from 8 to 16 bars. This one we're gonna go the opposite way. So if it was 4 bars, we're going to 2 bars. Like you see what I mean? That's how easy it is to make these ARPs. So then you just add backs, portal, halftime, whatever you want to do, just flip it and make it sound crazier. I just didn't add any effects on this because I thought it already sounded crazy. All I did was add a low piano just to fill up the low end. Yeah, I just kept it very simple. I just had the root note into this D, which is not off key, and it just adds a little bit of tension. And then this A, which is just 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just layered it down an octave. And then I went to the Synth Palette Vintage kit, and I got this sound right here. See, it kind of sounds trash on its own, so I added effects. I added this portal right here. It's from the Inception Volume 2 by my boy VM. It's the bell preset. And if you want my portal presets, there's gonna be a link in the description. Yeah, so this is what it sounds like with the effects. Yeah, I kind of added that triplet bounce. So what I did is I also rendered that out in the master. Just because when you use portal, it's not always consistent. It kind of starts a little delayed. So I just cut that out. Then I added these strings right here. Just a little accent just for some switch ups later on. He literally copies the same pattern as the piano. And yeah, I just kept it pretty simple. That's all I did for the melodies. I just rendered that out and I pitched it up 200 cents. This is what the final loop sounds like. Yeah, now onto the drums. Yeah, drums are pretty simple. Most of them come from my Obsidian kit. So if you want the drums I use, they're gonna be linked in the description. And yeah, let's start with the 808. Yeah, so Wheezy made the beat for Money on Money. So you have to add those Wheezy rolls. So the way you make those, you go to the magnet and you go into third step right here. As you can see, I just cut it up into third beats. I just kind of use the same little pattern. I just copied it over. Just some variations right here. Instead of having the third step, I just pitched it up an octave. Then I copied the root notes of the piano. And then I copied the rest over. And then have this other same third step roll just for more variation. And I just boosted it just a little bit because it's already hitting hard. Because the drums in my kit, they're already mixed. They already come sounding crazy. They hit hard right off the bat, so you don't really need much processing. As you can see in the mixer, I have no effects on this. I added just a simple kick just to make it hit that much harder, and always just to layer the 808 to make it hit a little harder is I added this open hat just to add more high end into that 808. Just kept it very simple and repetitive. Then I added just a snare on the normal position. Then I added this accent snare, and it's pretty simple. It's just these 2 accent notes and then this roll. The way you make this roll is you go to the magnet, click line, shorten it down with Shift D, and then you do Alt U. As you can see, it does the exact same snare roll. Then I literally copy this over and I just moved the position of the snare roll, and then I added an extra one. The hi-hats, what he did is he literally just the brush tool, and he literally just then you add whatever rolls you want in there. Just don't make it too crazy. And for Future's part, I just used that same pattern, but I didn't have the fast hi-hat. It's just a basic 2-step with the same rolls. Yeah, that's pretty much all it is to make these crazy beats. I'm gonna just play the final beat one more time, and yeah, that's gonna be it. Yeah, I'm out.
He cold. She belongs to the streets.
Spoil little bitch went petty. Rose gold snake shell Betty. Transport far and go sleddy. Knocking out a hole like shaking. Coulda went stick, went caddy. Coulda we ready.